Greetings, everybody. How in the worldwide are you? It is the Life Teacher Worldwide Watkins with the PE session for today. And we're going to talk briefly about scars. We are all familiar with scars. It does not matter how old you are. You have had an instance where you have gotten a cut, you fall in, you may have been burned, and that scar physically remains. Though the wound may have healed, the fact is that scar still remains. It is still there, and it may start to dissipate a little bit over time, but it's something you will always live with, you'll always have, you'll always know what happened to you because of that scar. Physically, there are those type scars. Then there are the emotional type scars, those mental scars that, because of what's happened to us in the past, we have a hard time getting beyond it because we'll look at that scar and we're constantly reminded of what has happened to us. And what it is, it happens to cripple us because we put so much thought into it and not the fact that, yeah, that scar is there, but we still have life to live. We still have more to offer to this world. There's still more to us than just that scar, but we put so much thought into it. And this is what we have to learn. The scar might be permanent, but your scarring does not have to be permanent. You do not have to live that all of the time. And think about that scar from a reminder perspective. We look at that scar and we immediately go back to the incident or the incidents that caused that scarring. But I want you to look at reminders from a different perspective. When you write a reminder or when you use technology to set a reminder, that reminder is not for something you've done in your past. That reminder is something you have to do moving forward. So this is where you have to learn to look at every scar you have, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, every scar you have. And instead of reminding yourself of the bind it put you in or the pain it caused you, remind yourself how you have to move forward. Again, this is why you set reminders. You never set a reminder because you want to think about your past. You don't. You set a reminder because you know there's something I must do, I have to do, and if I do not set this reminder, I'm going to forget it. Use that scar as a forward-thinking reminder to know, you know what, this may have happened to me before, but it's okay. I'm okay now. I'm getting better. You may not be better, but you put yourself in the process of getting better. And every time you look at that scar, instead of using it in a negative way to down yourself, to be angry at somebody else, use that scar as a reminder of how you have to spring forward in your life. You have the power to do that. You just have to realize it and know that scar was made for a reason. And even though it may be still there, it is there to help you in some form or another. And I promise you, you're going to help somebody else. The same way somebody's helped you with their scars, you're going to do the same. And that person probably had to go through the same process of not being beaten by that scar, not being negatively reminded about that scar. They use that scar in a positive way, and that's how you have to use yours. Here's what I want you to look at: the word scars. S.C.A.R.S. Stop carrying and reliving your suffering and start carrying and reigniting your send-off. So a send-off is something positive. A send-off is when you are departing. It is typically some type of celebratory event. And what you have to learn to do is to celebrate every day you live where you've gotten beyond that scar. When you look at it, when you think about it, when you look at your life, when you see him or her, when you think about what has happened to you, give yourself a send-off to say, you know what, I'm better than that. It was part of my life. I cannot change it. And when you really understand you cannot change anything that's happened in your past, that's when you start to develop a fantastic future. But as long as you hold on to it, you're going to continually row in that boat of sometimes pity. You're going to row in that boat of being frustrated, that boat of angerness, of bitterness, and it only hurts you and it never affects the other person. So why continue to give that much energy to somebody who may have hurt you then, but you're still hurting now? They're okay. They can see you and smile. Whatever you did, even if it was self-caused, you still have to know I'm better than that. That is not me. This scar only reminds me of what I did then. This scar doesn't tell me this is the way my life is always going to be. So regardless of how permanent a scar may look, it does not have to be your permanent signature. Okay? Think about this. There are ways you write your name now that you did not write when you first started writing. Your signature is different now. As you age, you're going to have slight variances in how you write your signature. Your life is the same way. As you age, you should mature and learn your life signature can change to be more than what it was back then. Sometimes our signature becomes shorter as we age. So that means there's a lot less you're going to hold on to about your past as you age. Learn how to use your scars in the right way. It happened to you for a reason. You cannot change it. As much as you may loathe it, as much as you may want to, you got to learn this was a part of my life. Okay, think about the house you live in. There's a concrete foundation there. How much effort will it take to bust up that foundation to start a new one? You think about that. Your life is the same way. That foundation is there. It is a part of your being. And instead of trying to change it so much, just say, you know what? I cannot change it. It is there. It is set. But what I can do is I can build a new frame of me. I can build a new house of me. I can mentally build the mansion I want to live in. And that's the effort you have to put into your life. Use your scars in a positive way instead of a negative way and see how much more fuller your life will be. This is your PE session for today. We'll talk to you soon. Have a phenomenal day.